Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Final Show Films. I'm Sin, your executive producer. I want to thank you all for tuning in, particularly our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms. Those being Jeremy Alexander, Samantha Bates, and Elle, without whom we don't want to do nearly as much as we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Exandria Rising. I keep wanting to say Grand Terra something, and that's not what this one is.
It is not.
Grand Terra, Exandria
We
edition.
were only doing Grand Terra for how many years? Anyways, but I am Sin, your game master for the evening, and I'm joined this week by Hated by God, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy.
Jesus.
No, Jesus wasn't hated by
I-
God, at least as far as we're told.
He died.
Yeah, but that was intentional. Apparently, that was his whole thing.
Have you seen the Old Testament?
God's just got a kink for that.
Yeah.
Having read the Old Testament, I'm pretty sure God did hate Jesus and was just an abusive father.
Anyway, I'm playing Ella, who is a water genasi,
And hated
class mutable.
and hated by capitalists, Shunny.
I don't know that capitalists know that I exist, but I do hate capitalists.
Well, you're a craftsman. You're a craftsman, so you're sort of subverting the entire go to the shop and buy magic items thing.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, pal, seize these means of production.
Hi, I am Shawnee William, and I am playing Najka, the Orcish craftswoman.
And hated by Ella Grouper, or sorry, Craig.
Neither of those things are true.
Hello. I am playing Grouper, a Fisher Fish Circle of the Moon druid.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a good joke. Hated by randos, Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm playing 3 goblins in a warforge. Meanie Manny, Gesby, and P.
And hated by doctors, Holly.
Doctors hate her. One weird trick.
Doctors hate this one weird witch.
What?
Also,
I'm sorry, I forgot you were a psychic, not a witch. My bad.
Right. No, I get that now. Okay, sorry, my mind
No.
was okay. Hi.
Doctors hate Holly because she keeps killing people.
there are a couple different ways.
Because of all the murder.
I'm saving them the hassle of having extra patience. Anyway, hi, I'm Holly. I'm playing Davina something. She's in Silky Folk, Wiccan Mystic.
And hated by the ocean, Drevian.
Drevian, I'm playing Tenebrous, a witch, Jerbine. I have never seen the ocean.
And when last we left off, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. And when last we left off, our adventuring party had made it to Western, having met a traveling caravan of goblins that Elifira just deeply mistrusted. And upon getting to Western, they sort of split up and started doing their own various individual bits of research, where Davina stumbled across Hawk, the person who had helped her and several others escape from the Torchbearer's experimentations, and learned a little bit about him and about why he's invested in stopping what's going on with Silos Reshen, the doctor that did experimentations on Davina. Which was why I was saying doctors hate her. The Good Goblins chatted with the Goblin Caravan and eventually left the comfort of Martin Victoria in order to experience Goblin culture for the first time since they were children.
As long as they can remember.
Yeah.
For the first time in basically ever.
Yeah. and Elafira and Tenebris were researching at the. Well, they initially were researching at a Cobalt at the Cobalt Reserve, although Elafira then left to go do some additional investigation of her own. So we're going to pick up with Grouper and Davina. So you both had just left Hawk's hideout. Where were you going? Because I don't know that you all had established a location to regroup at.
Well, Davina wanted to go back to the group to tell them what had just happened because she was going to bring them to Hawk. But no, we didn't establish.
If we sort of walk out, do we have this sort of, let's go back to the others? And
I'm sure we can all find each other because and then or find Najka, because she found us an inn to be our re-center place.
Yeah, but we had left before that happened. So
Yeah.
Gruber will turn to Davina as we're sort of out there looking around like chumps, or at least Gruber is, and say, how far away can you reach people?
I need to be able to see them.
Line of sight.
Okay. Yeah, but Gruber doesn't know that. You know, I mean, it went terribly last time, so given our group, that's probably where at least some people are going. There's got to be a Cobalt Soul library or dojo or something here, right?
Having been through Westrun before, Davina, that you can recall, yes, the Cobalt Reserve is the largest. The Cobalt Reserve is in Westrun, and it's the single largest established location of the Cobalt Soul.
We can try.
Okay.
She will grab Grouper by the hand and just start dragging him that direction.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have to drag.
Oh, I picture she's sort of like running at this point, and so she like grabs him by the hand and her fin starts going.
All right.
Just so long as it's not the dorsal fin.
And now I will cast Flop is flopping along, keeping up with this. I'll cast Alter Self and grow my legs.
Yeah, Grouper's legs suddenly get longer, which is slightly upsetting to see.
I don't like the look of that.
Nothing else changes, just the legs.
Yeah.
What do you think? Have it worked?
Same tiny torso proportions, just with uncomfortably long legs.
It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the first Sonic the Hedgehog render from the first movie.
Isn't it?
Never skip leg day. Let's go.
So Lafera, you were heading out to look for a monk that was investigating some of the goings on around town.
Right. Yes. Yes, I was. I knew that the whole time.
Go ahead and just roll me a D100 and see if they run into you before they get to the Cobalt Soul.
Okay.
Right, yes.
That is an 89.
Monk Iona was her name.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So while you're sort of out looking around town for Iona, let me put y'all back if y'all aren't already. Put y'all back on Western. While you're out looking for Iona, some around sort of like on the border between the Scholar Ward and the Elfo Ward, you do actually Davina and Grouper, while you sort of see Elafira walking rather than you're running, sort of down the road towards you, and Ella, you do spot them as well.
Ella.
Hey.
She's speaking out loud. Ella.
Hey.
Yeah. We
guys, what's up?
need to gather the others.
Okay. Well,
She will lower her voice for this. She'll whisper. I found Hawk.
Okay, cool. Tenebris is back at the at the Cobalt Reserve. I was just Craig.
It's what he looks like. I don't have any control over it. That's science, baby.
Oh!
It's called alter self. You explicitly have control over it.
I'm pretty sure that's not true. Let's move on.
I think there is a moment like
He's like
not
he's like as
noticed.
tall as Davina.
She still has not noticed because the talking
Mhm.
drew the immediate attention. As like, God damn it, I don't even remember what I was saying now.
You were saying Tenebris is back at.
Oh yes,
Tenebris.
Tenebris is back at the reserve. I was going out to look for Grouper. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm just trying something new. A little faster this way.
The legs aren't nearly as upsetting as the weirdly obvious groin that has also been applied thanks to alter self.
Ew. Anyways, that's extremely upsetting. I was going to I was trying to find this monk. There are missing kids in the city.
Oh,
Oh,
that's terrible.
So I was gonna go. I got word of this when we hit the reserve, and I mean, can't not look into that a little bit.
Yeah, do you want us to come with? I mean, if there's kids missing, that
She's gonna come back to the reserve eventually. I was feeling motivated. If we need to all get together and talk, we can do that instead. And
no,
she will
we can
get back.
we can do it after they're missing kids.
Right, but we're not gonna solve the missing kids thing before we run into everybody else.
Well, yeah, but
It,
it's important.
it is.
And also, you have no information on it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can we do your thing first because we won't make any progress. We'll spend the whole day running around looking for Iona. When ultimately she's just going to come back the reserve.
I just wanted to gather people because Hawk isn't going to stay in the same place for too long.
Then this has priority.
So, yeah.
All right, where's everybody else?
I don't know.
that's why we were headed back to the library. Yeah, we didn't think to set up a point ahead of time, and it just seemed like we figured it. At least some folks would probably be there, but I guess not if you're out and about.
Well, no, Tenebris is there.
Oh, okay.
So I know that they had left before we got the place set up. Had Tenebris and I left already, or do we know about that?
I mean, Nashka did establish that she was going to find a place for them to stay as her first priority job.
Davina had slipped off while the rest of you were figuring out what
Right.
you were doing, which is why Davina and Grouper specifically wouldn't have known. I would say that you probably would have had an idea of where to meet up with everyone else because you hung around a little bit longer.
All right, we need to go back to the reserve, retrieve Tenebris, and then I think I know where everyone's going to be. It's fine. We are still getting used to this whole working together in a city thing.
I could send a message out if that helps. I could send a little critter with a message.
I mean, that'd help. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess. Fuck, Najka probably knows.
Well, you know that
where
Najka and the good goblins were going to be operating in the same general area.
right. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Nashka probably knows where the goblins are, so go send it to Nashka, and then we can go retrieve Tenebris.
Okay. I just need a couple of minutes.
Take your time.
Okay. I'll find.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
How long are those gonna last?
No, I'll stop.
I mean, it's fine. It's functional. I get it. It just I need to know when I can look at you again.
No, I'm done, says the voice from much lower. Next time I'll just turn into something fast.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
I don't mind it. I just don't want. I don't mind that you grew legs. So it's not a weird or anything. I just don't want to look at it.
It's weird.
It's not weird or anything.
I'm not gonna say that you're turning your back on your fish heritage when you do, but
I mean,
you know,
That feels oddly pointed.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Locantha, kind of our big defining trait is legs. So I just feel like I'm leaning into it. Kind of what makes us special. And he sort of like flips a fin.
That and opposable thumbs.
Holy shit, they bend weird. So yeah, so he'll go. I'm gonna. I'll cast. Do I see any animals around? Little birds or chipmunk, squirrels, something that would be mobile in a city setting.
Roll me D100.
All right, I can do that. I'm in the thing we use. 23.
There is a vast array of pigeons.
Fantastic. All right, I will cast Speak with Animals. And I will just sort of go over and say, hello, who wants food for a job? Food for thing.
Why the fuck are you talking like that? 3 pigeons say.
are you?
Oh, fantastic. You know what? Okay, this is great. You guys this works way better. Okay.
Pigeons are city birds.
Are
They
you
know
driving
what
up? Are you driving up to the pigeons' day labor place?
Pretty much.
Because that's what it sounded like.
Pretty much. He pulls out a bread.
I've just always pictured
a crust of bread.
Because pigeons don't give a shit about anything. I just figure they would be the straightest talking birds of all the birds in the place.
Fantastic.
And slightly New Yorky, because
yeah, kind of.
Because pigeons.
Because
New York.
pigeons.
Pigeons.
So he says, "Okay, great. Oh no, I've fallen into walking. I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna need one of you all to in exchange for this fine crust of bread. Don't put it on your head. Your tongue will knock your brains out trying to get to it. But exchange for this fine crust of bread, I'm gonna just put a little spell on you that's gonna help you carry a message to a friend of mine. What do you say?"
One of the birds tilts its head and looks at you and is like, "Are you having a fucking stroke, dude?"
I mean, a little bit. I'm not used to pigeons, okay? I'm used to, and he kind of shudders. Seagulls. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no, fuck those guys.
Yeah, right?
Assholes.
Sorry, my accent is weird.
Yeah, sure, I'll take your goddamn message.
All right, I appreciate that. Here's your crust of bread. Do you want to eat it first, or do you want me to go
It's
ahead
gone.
and? All right, fantastic. And I'll cast Animal Messenger.
All right. What message are you sending to Nashka?
Nashka, don't be alarmed. It's me, your good friend Grouper.
No.
You got 25 words, my dude.
Meet us at, because I don't think you can respond. Meet us at the Cobalt Soul Library. We'll be there. Group out.
Are you gonna say anything about getting the good goblins?
No.
Okay.
Fortunately,
It's-
I'll be next to the good goblins when that
it's-
animal
yeah.
reaches me.
It's Nashka. Grouper has a tremendous amount of faith in Nashka's operational efficiency.
Yeah. All right.
Fortunately, it will be rewarded.
Yeah. No, bird takes off.
I'll give a fish to Flop as well. You're doing a great job, sweetie. This just isn't for you. That's okay.
I mean, Flop also would have been a valid target. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah,
it's tiny beast
yeah.
actually. So never mind. It wouldn't have. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even so, I mean, I could just tell Flop to do it, but I'm just sad picturing.
Be
All
a
I can
much
think of,
slower trip.
Nazca,
all I can think of now though is the pigeons like side-eyeing Grouper for giving the seal a fish for no reason, but they have to do work for food.
Nazca,
It's all about who you know.
while you're hanging out with the goblins and the goblin at the goblin caravan, a pigeon lands on your shoulder, and Christopher Walken's voice comes out, or an approximation of it, anyways, as the pigeon relays the message that Grouper just gave you.
That is such a generous summary of that attempt. Thank you, Sen. I will take that.
Nashka sits there, listens to it. All right.
And the pigeon just
That
takes
is the
off.
appropriate response.
Mm.
Make an
All right.
insight check if you want.
$25.
With a nat 20, yeah,
Holy
that
shit.
was probably from Grouper.
I mean, it did
Wait.
say it was from Grouper.
Yeah, I started off by saying it's your good pal
Yeah,
Grouper.
that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Sorry,
And then ended
I,
with Grouper out.
I just sort of like my brain just like glazed over that both times.
I mean, that is 100% a fair a fair guess based on the efficiency with which I have generally played Grouper, although I am trying to be better.
But yeah, seems like the group has decided to meet up at the Cobalt Reserve.
Which is fair, considering that she hasn't had the opportunity to tell them where their hotel is yet.
Yep.
So she'll nod at that, let the bird fly away, and finish downing her bowl of what we're saying was it gumbo or jambalaya?
Gumbo.
Yeah, finish downing her bowl of gumbo, and then look over. Meanie Manny, Gatsby, peace. We'll probably need to regroup with everyone in a bit.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You
Do
don't
we
have
know
to cut.
where we're meeting them.
So I'm at the very least going to meet him at the Cobalt Reserve. But if you want to hang out here for a bit and then meet us at the tavern where I booked our rooms, I can just tell you where that's at, and you can meet us there if you want.
We should probably come along, but we might come back here afterwards.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take this opportunity to have some goblins wandering around instead of a giant robot.
Are you leaving Martin Victoria there, or what?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, they'll take care of it.
Martin Victoria is ostensibly on guard duty.
All right. Vin will be back later.
He'll just wave and go back to chatting with some more goblins. And the four of you take off. After about an hour, we'll say you all meet up at the Cobalt Reserve. And you can have Elvira can have had a side room like prepared.
Mm-hmm. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hey, yo.
Davina has the road. Me?
Hi. Yeah. Once again, still everything is out loud. Okay, so Gruber and I, we found Hawk.
That's the person that
Maybe.
rescued you, yeah?
No, Rook rescued me. Hawk was one of the other people there also
Right.
being pointed.
Inverting, yeah.
Right.
Well, we've spoken to him. He was apparently patient 0 and had these abilities, and they were trying to experiment on the rest of us to basically, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said.
Trying to
like,
create his abilities
it-
in other
thank
test
you.
subjects.
Yes,
Yeah, he was trying to copy his
create his
abilities,
abilities, yeah, in other people.
Huh.
Interesting.
So he's here. I know where he is, but he said he's only going to be there for another day or two. And if I wanted to gather you guys and we could all go see him, because he wants to do the same thing. He wants to take down torchbearers and take
I
down
like
who
him
did this
already.
to us. So yeah, if you guys have the time and would like to come with me, I can take you to him, but it would need to be soon. Like
Then
in
we
the
should go
next
now.
day or so.
Hey, we can go now.
Okay.
Of note, this is behind that on priority due to timing and other stuff. Apparently kids are going missing here in Western.
Sounds
So-
like a job that we might want to clock in on.
Yeah, there's a member of the Cobalt Soul who's looking in on it. I have not been able to meet up with them yet, but that is the
And-
plan. But again,
First
this
thing in
is
the morning?
priority.
Yeah, we'll follow up. We'll
She'll
follow
probably
up on.
come back.
Yeah, we'll follow up
So
on that one
I'll-
after we follow up with Hawk. And then third down the list, I've got us a hotel for the evening. And I've also spoken with the Goblin Caravan, the Relic Seekers, as has the Good Goblins. And I struck a deal with Vinda. They will journey with us, and we'll be journeying with them on our way out to the west. When we head over to Kaimel, because journeying as a group makes the life easier, but also in particular they're relic seekers and have knowledge and experience regarding ancient ruins. So we're going to bring them along to help clear out the bandits that have taken over the ruins that Martin Victoria was found in, and let them do their relic finding work on the way.
Oh, you mean the people that we came in with?
Aye.
Yeah.
All right.
Does it seem like the kind of thing, just because Hawks, I know he has maybe other concerns, but also has been here for a while, kind of looking at Davina, is it worth at least bringing up the missing kids just to see if he's heard anything while we're talking to him
Yes.
about everything else? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a non-zero chance that these things are related.
Well, if you're
I don't
trying
like
to
that.
create if you're trying to create an army of psychics, you need people to turn into psychics, and you need people who are moldable.
I wouldn't put anything past them based on what they've
They
put you
have
all
to have
through.
the potential. From what Hawk
It's a
told
big
me.
city; they could have the potential. There could be a number of people here who have that potential.
They
Also,
wouldn't have to have the potential to get kidnapped.
how do
You
they
can
test
kidnap
for it?
anyone.
Like Hawk said, there was another guy that was there. There's someone that was there that was always watching us but never spoke. And Hawk thinks that that person may have something to do with being able to tell if someone has the potential.
Well, we're not gonna learn anything more by standing around here. Shall we get
Yeah.
going?
And also, just for Davina, he did confirm there were only about like a dozen of you
Yeah.
total. So not a large pool of people with the ability.
How many kids have gone missing?
Don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that information was in the.
No, it was just at the moment it's just a vague like possible
Right.
situation. Not yet confirmed that the kids are actually missing. It's just that there have been reports of children going missing, and that's what Iona is investigating.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not something to immediately like pull the apocalypse
Right.
bell for, but
I mean, Grouper looks around at the others with a little bit of a crooked smile. I mean, we all used to go missing sometimes when we were kids.
Aye, but
We usually turned up again afterwards.
there's a line of people that know these children would probably know whether or not it's something that they do all the time and doesn't need to be reported, or no, this is serious and I should probably tell someone.
yeah, if
Oh.
I don't think that an expositor would be looking into this.
To be fair, it's not an expositor; they're just a monk. Because they're short on expositors.
You're right. My.
Yeah, the expositor
I don't
was
think a
investigating
Cobalt
stuff
Soul
outside town.
member would be looking into this if it was clearly just kids ran away to get into mischief.
No, I'm not saying we shouldn't. In fact, I think we should look into it.
Yep.
There's been some pretty horrible stuff. It'd be nice if this wasn't. That's all.
Believe me, I would be very happy if it was innocuous, but that's why we check on these things.
Unfortunately, that's not how it generally works on the mainland.
All right, let's get going.
All right.
Davina will lead the way.
Yep. So yeah, you lead the way back into the Opal Ward, and through a series of connected alleys. You do lead the group past the fundraising event that the Torchbearers are holding. So the rest of you that didn't see it before see this fundraising event that's going on, where the Torchbearers are providing medical prosthetics to people that have been maimed in some significant ways. And using this as sort of an exhibition of their prosthetics and to raise money for the benefit of other people that have been similarly disabled and thus can be fitted to these prosthetics so that they can regain a level of ability that they would otherwise have lost to them.
I just, under my breath as we walk by, motherfuckers.
Not the ones we're looking for.
I'm aware. Knowingly
Feel
or
like-
not, they're complicit.
The
Definitely.
good goblins have seen this sort of thing before.
Yes.
They're definitely acting as a smokescreen for the real problem.
Exactly. Whether they know it or not, they're part of the problem.
That's the problem with cults.
Mhm.
But yeah, past the fundraising event, through the alleyways to the secret door that you were led to. You open it up. You and Grouper both see both see Hawk. Nobody else sees anybody in the room.
Ace room.
So
Our-
many friends.
He does a thing. You'll see him in a second.
He nods and raises a hand and just sort of manipulates the air. And as he does, the rest of you suddenly become aware that Hawk has been in the room the whole time. This again,
Don't like that.
human, right around 6 feet tall, human looking rather, long shaggy white hair, pinkish tattoos that seem to glow through his facial hair that indicates he has not shaved in a while. You can all get insight checks as you're looking at him as he suddenly becomes visible.
Including those of us who saw him before, or just
Yeah,
the new folks?
Yeah, you know.
Roll a 2 on top of it on the back of a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty 20.
10.
Fun.
Davina and Group, you hadn't noticed it before because you were still sort of like shocked at his appearance. There's a look in his face as you sort of like are beginning a better look at him now. That definitely, this is a person that has been. this is a person that has a very narrow focus and has been borderline obsessed with whatever it is that his focus is, which you assume is dealing with torchbearers, for a while. He's got that look of a person that has that. I guess the best way to describe it would be Captain Ahab look.
This hunt has consumed my life.
Yeah. The rest of you, fairly intense looking, but otherwise not reading much more into it. And
Najka sort of tilts her head to the side. If I had known to be looking for you, could I have managed to pierce through that?
possibly,
Interesting.
it's not really it's not like I was invisible. I was just my presence was convincing your brain to not look at me.
Knowing whether or not that can be overcome is probably going to be relevant if they ever succeed at mimicking your abilities, and we have to deal with any of them.
I mean, they have succeeded in mimicking my abilities, says pointing it at Davina.
Yeah, and any of them stay with them.
Fair.
Ella's just quiet.
So, hello everyone. I didn't get a group name or more than one name, honestly.
There's a group known as Nivenaya.
Huh. Appropriate.
I'm Najka Flamehull. These are my compatriots who I'll let introduce themselves. Assuming anyone does.
Yeah, introductions all around.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi. I'm Ella.
Hawk. Something that you didn't notice before, Davina and Grouper. He has on his back what looks like a quarterstaff, but with what is very obviously pre-calamity tech attached at both ends of it.
Ease is examining it.
I think it's
Okay.
fun.
What was that, Jerry?
Just because I think it's funny.
What?
Apparently, a roll is being made. What are you?
Okay.
What are you trying
That's
to hide?
how well I'm trying to hide blushing and shit.
Ah.
14.
Peas.
Ease has maneuvered to
Thank fucking God.
around his side to stare at his gear because
Go ahead
he's
and give
likes
me.
that
Go
shit.
ahead and give me a either Arcana or a History check for Peas. / the Good Goblins.
Oh no.
Oh, I did good.
The 21, Peas can tell that the emitters at the end, at either end of the staff, emit an generate an electrical current. Peas would probably term this as a shock staff of some kind.
Pretty cool.
He is. You can also tell that he is very much on guard. He's on guard isn't quite the correct term. He reminds you all of a wildcat that's in a room.
Not helping.
That is in a room with not threats, but that doesn't mean he's not on guard.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, stop, he's already dead.
You're not helping at all. That just means he's dangerous.
Yeah.
Tenebrous is very pointedly standing behind people.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wild cat. I met one of those
Yeah,
before it hurt.
Not literally a wildcat. He just gives you that he's got that sort of that physicality of a predator that is on guard.
Yeah, but I feel
And-
like that's not great for a Gerbine either.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Just like any kind of predator vibes.
Yeah.
Like,
This is very much like, oh, he's on guard and could. It's a wound spring that could hurt me very badly.
precisely. Yeah.
Tense, edgy, looking ready to pounce.
Ella adjusts collar.
Ella's
But
a
subtly,
disaster.
deception of 14.
Subtly adjusts collar.
Subtly enough to fool Grouper.
Yeah.
Grouper's
Yes,
like,
that's all that matters.
yeah, Grouper's like, she's probably still thinking about the legs.
Oh.
Yeah, Ella, come on, you got all of that.
Hawk-
You still got it, Big G.
Hawk will look to the group of you. So I understand from Davina that you're all hunting the torchbearers as well.
Indeed.
Yep.
For
Nasty
various
pieces
reasons.
of work.
As you might surmise, there's a number of different powers at play that are suspicious of the torchbearers and the danger they might pose.
Well, I'm glad that their activities haven't been ignored at least. All right. So I can tell you that I don't think any of the leadership is in Western right now. Though that's not 100%. I've been looking into a cell of them that has been operating out of Western that have been I think they're largely information gathering. I don't think they have any specific activities happening here right now. But I can tell you a couple of names that you'll want to keep an ear out for.
Mm-hmm.
Silos Reshen, I'm sure Davina has told you about him.
Yeah.
You know that one.
Sorry, what was the last name? We did not have the last name before.
Silos Reshen.
Russian. Reshyn?
Ian.
Ian.
I was close.
He's the mad scientist that was trying to duplicate me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not his actual name. I was never able to glean his actual name, but I could always tell that he wasn't that the name was a lie. I know he is an artificer of some kind. Magically works with technology and uses that for his methods. He has at least one extraneous prosthetic limb, which, if you're not seeing the name Silos Reshen, the limb might be a giveaway. The other name that I can tell you, well, I can describe a third person, but that's less useful because he always wore a mask and was covered head to toe. But if you find Silos, you might be able to deal with him. If you find Nemro, you should run. Nemro is Silos's masterpiece
Ew.
as far as the torchbearers are concerned. He's got psionic powers like Davina and myself, but also he's the muscle, augmented by Silos heavily, and seems to be otherwise magically augmented through necromancy.
Ew.
Concerning figure, treat with caution.
He acts as an
To be
enforcer
clear,
and an assassin.
enhanced with necromancy or kept mobile with necromancy?
Enhanced.
Okay. So this isn't like an undead thing necessarily?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
But he might be.
Psychic zombies.
Right.
I could never really get a firm grasp on his power source. I know the magic comes from him, and the artifice enhancement came from Silos. And then they added in psionic powers.
Does it have an element of permanence, or if we take out Silos, does that make it harder for Nimro to function?
Physical replacements. I'm sure you all saw the prosthetics that the torchbearers are passing out.
Yeah.
Nemro has prosthetics that make those look like toys.
That's gross.
Does that pose a risk to the people who are receiving them right now?
No, the ones that they're handing out are exactly what they say on the tin.
They'd have to be, or the torchbearers wouldn't be able to keep their good presence.
It's
Yeah.
how they it's how they keep them. It's how they keep the world at large looking at them as if they're an above board organization.
I'm just worried that they might seem benign, and then when they get enough of them distributed throughout the world, and then he just kind of raises his hand and opens his fingers explosively.
It's a dangerous thought, but that would be an incredibly dangerous move for them to make, considering how many eyes and hands will be on them as they spread across the world.
I mean, it's not
And to
impossible,
be fair,
but
no. But like, well, sure, maybe something. I don't know necessarily explosion because as near as we know, just randomly killing a bunch of people is not their goal.
I, I, I don't mean a literal explosion. I just mean
Yeah.
Fair.
there are a lot of ways to light off
But
disasters.
if one other artificer or skilled craftsman inspects one of those devices and finds that trap laying inside, there
Yeah.
goes the entirety of their goodwill.
the
I, I'm certain smarter people than me have thought about it, but as we walk back by, I'll go ahead and see if I can sense anything
more
out of the
likely,
ordinary.
more likely the
Hadn't
point,
hurt to try.
more likely the point of it is engendering goodwill,
Correct.
so that if the torchbearers need recruits, they have a ready population of people that they've helped recover.
Sure.
It's the charity version of sports washing.
I'm just learning that I
It's
shouldn't always trust
s-
everything that I see.
absolutely worth investigating, though.
Aye. If we manage to get our hands on one, I would definitely want to give it a look over and make sure it's exactly what it seems. But it definitely seems like it would be a dangerous risk for them to put anything untoward inside prosthetics that are being distributed en masse, because that makes it easier to discover their duplicity.
There's Nemro's name as well. Silos. Yeah, sorry. Nemro is also pretty easy to spot. You'll know him when you see him. Tall, dark, psychotic.
How does Davina look like she's doing with this info?
Mix of confused emotions right now.
Yeah, you never
Are
experienced Nemro as far as your memories are concerned.
are they still
No.
holding hands?
Who?
Grouper and Davina.
Currently, probably not.
He'll just kind of reach out and give her arm, like her forearm, a little squeeze if she'll let him.
She'll let him. She doesn't seem to really notice right now.
Okay.
Potentially related, but not necessarily. We've received information that there are reports of children going missing in town. Do you happen to know anything about that?
Not off the top of my head, but it's probably not related to the torchbearers. It's not their MO.
Good.
I hope it's good.
Well-
No, I mean that could. I mean, it could be very bad, but it's regardless.
Obviously.
Regardless
It
of
could be
being,
very bad,
yeah.
but it being related to the torchbearers
Guarantees
is
that it is.
highly
Yes.
likely very bad. Whereas this could be not very bad and just a pain in the ass instead.
But no, they don't. They're in the habit of convincing people to come with them rather than disappearing them off the streets.
Which of the good goblins was that speaking?
Gatsby.
Grouper just gives Gesby sort of a crooked smile and a thumbs up.
Where are you planning to go next?
Well, I'm gonna probably hop around a few different locations here in Western for a while, and then make my way towards Amon.
Conveniently, that's the direction we're heading as well. We'll probably be in town for a few days, finding work, investigating these disappearances, and continuing on our journey to try and investigate the torchbearers across Simon and the rest of Taldore. We might see you in different locations.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Would like to come with us?
Safety in numbers.
I'm also something of a liability. Nimro knows how to find me if I'm not careful. Largely, I'll be better off taking care of myself without having to also watch over you guys.
Is that
Watch
something?
over ourselves, and we can help you.
Was that correct?
Is that something Davina needs to look out for? I think probably said at the same time as Davina's selfless offer of help.
I've clashed directly with Nimro before. I don't know that I'm pretty certain he has never clashed with Davina, so he wouldn't recognize her unless she fought him a couple times. Make an insight check, Davina.
7 on that one.
He's hard to read, but given that you're
Mhm.
the only one that would have any idea of a scale of power as far as psionics,
Mhm.
you would probably slow him down, is what he's trying
Okay.
not to say.
Gotcha.
No, don't
And-
worry. If we, sorry, go ahead.
No, continue. Go ahead.
In that case, maybe we can meet up with you and Amon.
Yeah, I'll probably be there ahead of you.
We're going to hole up in what's it called? The Edge of Forever.
The Edge of Forever is in Kymel.
Oh, never mind. I got confused about cities.
Yep. No, that's fair. Don't worry. If we see Nemro, we'll run, and if we see Silos, we'll fuck him up. I mean,
I haven't gotten a
I
handle
mean,
on.
you do you, but he might be dead when you get a turn.
I don't have a handle on Silas's abilities, so I don't know how dangerous he's going to be. So be careful.
All right.
As far as the other, if you see, he was always wearing. He was covered head to toe in armor of some kind. Seemingly, a lot of it was reinforced with pre-calamity technology. He's missing his left foot. It looked like he had a prosthetic, but it was an older one, more like a peg leg than the more modern stuff they hand out to people. And he always wore a death mask, which you all would know. A death mask is basically a mask that is a face of typically a corpse.
Any particularly famous dead person or
No, much more stylized. Looked dwarven in make, but he didn't look. But he's not a dwarf.
Fucking edgelord.
This is the man I remember, right?
Yeah, this is the man. This is the
Okay.
figure that you recall seeing.
Mhm.
I'm pretty certain he's how they track down people that have psionic potential. I just don't know how. So if people with psionic potential start going missing, he's probably nearby. But like I said, I don't think any of the leadership is in town right now.
okay.
fortunately I don't think we have any particular method of verifying individuals having psionic potential outside of them showing us.
I'm sometimes I can feel it. Davina might be able to sense it on some people, but
Haven't yet. I mean, aside from you, but you like spoke in my head.
it's a particular talent that some people in my family had, but I didn't. I never developed it. But yeah, I'll travel on my own, and I'll see you in a month.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for me?
That
Be
comes up
careful.
What was
Anything
it?
you can think of? Sorry.
No, I was asking you what you had said, but
I've been trying to recover some of my memories because I told you I don't remember a lot.
yeah.
I was just wondering if you could help fill me in on anything. I know you have your own memories of that time.
I mean, if I knew what you were wanting,
You took years of my life that I can't even recall.
From the minute that I saw you, you were being experimented on. So most of what I could fill in was just that they were experimenting on you, which I feel like wouldn't be useful for you to remember.
Okay.
And probably is a good thing you don't.
Another squeeze.
I was able to recall that they wanted information about, oh, what was it? Flying islands, floating islands,
Flying cities, yeah.
flying cities. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Flying cities.
Yeah, they have an obsession with pre-calamity tech. I'm not sure why.
Do you know anything else that they're hoping to accomplish?
They were very careful not. They were very careful to control their thoughts around me and their conversation.
Okay.
Mostly all I got to experience was the pain of the people whose brains they were cutting into.
I'm sorry.
You know what to apologize.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. Okay, we'll finish up here and we'll meet you when we get to Amman.
He nods.
Is there a particular place we should meet you, or will you find us?
I'm not sure yet. So, I guess I'll find you.
Okay.
Be careful.
I always am.
All right. Well, I guess let's start following up on everything else that we've got in town.
About what time is it now? It's late, isn't it?
It's like mid-afternoon. Yeah.
Because it's after market.
Yeah. It's sundown will be soon. We'll say.
Do we know when your Cobalt Soul person is coming back?
No, we do not. We did not have that specific information, unfortunately. But if you want to tell me where, unless we want to all talk, which that's fine. Otherwise, if you want to tell me where we're staying, I can meet you there once I talk with Iona.
Everyone should know where the inn is in any respect. So yeah, I should fill everyone in on where that's at, regardless of where we're all going.
Fair.
So it's time to fill everybody in on the meeting spot and then split up for the evening.
What's
Just
the inn
evening
called again?
activities.
The last meet.
Spelled MEAT, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Before they leave the area where Hawk is, Davina will go over to him and just give him a hug.
There's definitely a bit of surprise, and he's not sure what to do with his hands because physical touch is not a thing he's used to.
And she'll just say, "Stay safe."
Yeah, you too. He definitely looks uncomfortable being hugged.
That's what she does.
I'll start making her way out.
Yeah. As you all start making your way out, he just waves with all the energy of someone who doesn't know how to end a social interaction. And yeah, the secret door eventually closes behind you all.
All right.
Evening things. Big end of day evening things.
All right. Yeah.
Where does Westrun get its water?
From wells largely.
There's no river or anything
No,
in town,
there's
right?
no river that goes through town. There is a river that goes. There's a river that bypasses the town. So there's a river on the north side that goes just past it on the from north to west, east.
They also probably get a decent amount of mountain runoff from Gat Shadow, which is just to the northwest.
That's the river. Yeah, the river that
Yeah.
runs north to south, northwest to southeast on the north side of town, comes down from Gat Shadow. But that river continues past, so they get water from there and from wells throughout town.
Okay.
But there is
The
no
goblins are headed back to the other goblins.
yeah, there is no river that runs through Western though. All right, yeah. So you split up for the evening, and good goblins are going back to the good goblins are going back to the goblin caravan. How many of you are going back to the inn? Or going to the inn rather?
Tenebris says.
Davina will go to the inn.
Najka will show them to the inn, but then she's gonna go out and try and do some work.
Gruber?
I will walk back to the inn. I just looking at the map, there's a place called the Wild Arbor. Is that something that would be aware of people, would Grouper be aware of that in universe?
Where is that at? That is in Temple Ward.
Looks like looking it up, it looks like it's a temple to the Wild Mother.
Yeah,
it's in the Temple
yes,
Ward.
yeah, you'd be able to find that.
I think we passed by it because we came into the south gate, didn't we?
Okay. Yeah.
You would have passed by it, but you wouldn't have necessarily gone. You went directly into the market ward.
Yeah.
So you would have taken it. You wouldn't have necessarily passed by it. No.
Vina, how are you doing?
Quiet, but she doesn't seem. She seems lost in thought right now, more than anything.
Do you want company or do you want a little time to yourself?
Go do what you want to do. I'll be fine.
Is that legit? May I make
That's legit.
Okay.
She's being honest.
And other people are here. Tenebris is here, right?
Najka's technically here at the moment if she's leading you all to the end.
Are we doing the three of us in a room again? Davina and Tenebris and Grouper?
I thought Davina was going to stay with Ella.
Okay, all right.
I think we're doing 2 to a room, and then the
Okay.
good goblins aren't even there right now.
So Grouper and Tenebris are together.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's how it has
I
been. Yeah.
believe so.
Okay. All right. Then is Tenebris just going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Tenny, you good for now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna relax and probably sleep.
Do you want
As he says,
company? or you want a little time to yourself?
If you have stuff to go do it, Grouper. I'm good.
I thought I might see if there's a temple to the Wild Mother here.
That's fair. Right, tonight's probably a good time to go do that before we get caught up in other stuff.
So that would be Gruber's intent. As long as people don't need him at the inn, he'd like to find out if there's a temple to the Wild Mother, and if so, how to get there, and take Flop and go there and
Yeah, no,
see if there are animals and observe them, and just spend some time and hopefully in a little stream or some water in
the Wild
nature.
Arbor. The Wild Arbor is easily learned about, and it's easily found as well because it's basically a large, like a block-sized grove, dedicated to the Wild Mother. And yeah, you can go there. It kind of functions more as a druid's grove than a temple specifically, within the city.
Perfect.
But there is a temple structure in the middle of it.
He's more interested in the grove part anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's just basically a section of the city that's allowed to that's allowed to grow wild. It is walled in, so it's not like you could just wander in, but there are entrances.
Okay.
And yeah, you can absolutely go in and find this, very carefully cultivated space of greenery, that has an amount of wildlife in it, but it's not like it's small animal. It's squirrels, mice, rodents, things like that.
anything that's not native to Torticala is interesting to Grouper.
Yeah.
Even if it's small. I mean, Grouper was fascinated to meet pigeons today. Like that's a big deal for him.
And
So
there are a lot of pigeons in this place too.
cool. I'll probably spend more time with pigeons then.
Yep.
And just make sure if there's some water, make sure
Yeah, there's like a duck pond functionally.
great. Okay. Yeah, so that'll be that
Well, now
that's
it's a grouper pond.
Now it is a duck pond plus Locatha.
honestly it'll probably be a duck pond if it's big enough for a seal. Flop will get into it.
Oh yeah.
And
Seal.
grouper will be something small and fish-like.
Right.
Grouper will actually probably turn into an eel or something that is less likely to be preyed upon by the ducks.
All right. So yeah, you go and spend a lovely evening in nature. Elifera, you get back to the Cobalt Reserve, and you are told that in your absence, Iona had returned. You can find her.
Okay.
You can find her in one of the studies.
Perfect. I'm going to go find her in the study.
Yep. You go and find her, and you find a she is also a Ganassi. She is an air Ganassi specifically. As you enter the study,
Okay, fair enough.
and find this person who is sort of slightly levitating off the ground while going over some paperwork. She's like rather than sitting in a chair, she's sitting on air. And you come in. You come in. Oh, hello.
Hi, Iona.
Yes. Elifera.
Hi, I'm Elifera. Yes.
Yeah, I was told you were looking for me. What can I help you with?
Yeah, so I had heard that that you were looking into some missing kids.
Yes, we've been getting some reports, some scattering reports of children going missing in town. I'm just compiling my notes right now. Are you interested in assisting?
I absolutely am.
Okay, good, because we were about to have to figure out how to find manpower to help with.
Yep, I have. I'm not committing them all right now before they say yes and we know the details. But I'm here with the group.
This is an incident that mirrors one that occurred some number of years ago, according to our records. Which is why we're investigating. There have been only a handful, as far as we're able to tell so far. About 7 kids have gone missing. But coincidentally, at the same time, there's been a string of seemingly unconnected nightmares that have been recurring throughout several members of the populace in the city. And these two things happening simultaneously is reminiscent of an event that occurred many years ago, where a creature that preyed on the nightmares of children was gathering children and stealing them away to a demiplane. A group of adventurers helped resolve that issue then. And given the similarities, we were concerned that it might be a similar creature.
Well,
We
good news. You
found-
have an adventuring party to help.
Well, that will be useful. We haven't found any evidence of it being that particular creature at this point. But we do know that the vast majority of the children, all 7 of the children, are disappeared from the same neighborhood in the residential ward.
Okay.
And they're not all of their parents, but some of them have also been having these nightmares. The nightmares largely seem to be irrelevant to the situation. They're just recurring, sort of the standard helplessness, being pursued by an unidentifiable entity that wants to kill you, sort of nightmares.
Right.
Varying details, but the overall pattern is the same. But nothing that directly, at least, connects the dreams to the children.
Okay.
And she'll wave you over, and she has a map of Western rolled out, and she'll indicate the neighborhood that the children had all disappeared from, which I will mark on the map for you.
So, what do you need from us?
Well, and here it is. This neighborhood right there, which I will ping you all. Well, I'm just gathering information at the moment. We were going to put together a squad to further investigate. If your group of adventurers are willing, it would be good to have you comb the neighborhood, see if you can find any clues to the disappearance of the children.
Okay.
Any leads that you could find, and hopefully recover them from whatever is doing this.
I will talk to my people and see what we can.
As you will know, the Cobalt still does have a discretionary fund for rewarding adventurers that do tasks for us. We can. I'll have to look and see how much of it is available currently, but I think I can promise at least 250 gold per person, possibly more depending on what we've got.
Cool. Works for me. I will present it to them and get back to you tonight sometime.
I'll be here.
Cool.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep.
Nashka, what are you doing other than, like, you were just heading out to do stuff? What were you heading out to do?
She was going to see if she could find opportunities to ply her particular trade, trying to acquire gold and or just materials for her use, and see while she's doing that, because being a person who fixes things and makes things for people lets you meet people. See if she can gather any info on missing children, any further info on any of the leads while she's working.
All right. Would you like to focus on making money or gathering info? Because you're not going to be able
considering that they're going to be working as a group later, making money is the primary focus. Right?
Okay. Go ahead and make me a craftsman tools check then, with intelligence.
26.
19, not quite a natural 20, but you are able to make 260 gold worth of do 260 gold worth of repair work in the evening. People that are coming to you for repairs, though, aren't typically very talkative. and you're kind of heavily focused on doing the repair work rather than bilking them for information.
That's how much currency I make.
Yeah, you make 260 gold. Because doing repair work is an extremely valuable skill.
Yep.
But yeah, eventually you all regroup at the inn, except for the good goblins.
But they'll meet up in the morning
Mhm.
because this is our meeting space. They're just not sleeping here because they've got better company.
Fair. Once everybody shows up, I will give them the full heads up. Be getting paid.
Excellent. I guess we'll start investigating in earnest in the morning then.
Right. I will. I did not commit us because I assumed, but I was not going to commit on assumption. So everybody is on board. Ready to see her?
Am I back by this point?
If you want to be, yes.
I would do it for free, but
I'll be honest, so would I, but
Aye. But
also this
getting
is
paid
my
for it also
job,
helps us
so
do other things.
also that, yes.
Getting paid for it helps fund our other adventures.
The Cobalt
I, in
Soul
particular, will never turn down getting paid.
the Cobalt Soul would insist on paying you regardless because they don't want the negative press of the Cobalt Soul taking advantage of people's charity.
It's just, yeah, we gotta at least look into it.
Okay.
The good goblins will have this exact same conversation about money in the morning when they get filled in. Just putting that out there right now.
hmm
All right.
I will
Tenebra-
go then. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna head off and let her know.
So Tenebris is at this meeting, just wrapped up in a blanket, and you just see a hand stick out with a thumbs up. There's not really anything
That's
else
great.
visible of Tenebris right now. Just the hand pops out.
Good enough.
All right. So yeah, you head out and inform, and then you all will get your
Yep.
long rests. And that's where we're going to take our break for the week. So as you're watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. Remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do. And we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're back. A dinosaur story. All right. So you all get your long rests. Alafira, before you get to your long rest, when you return to your room at the inn, there is something wrapped in paper and tied with string on the desk of the room you're sharing with Davina. That is marked as being to you.
Okay. Yeah, head cocks. I'll go over and grab it.
There's a
Open
note.
it up.
There's a note on it. That says, and the note just says, "Rook thought you could use this."
Okay.
And you open it up, and inside is this honestly kind of evil-looking book. It's a leather and chain bound book. With a sort of a dark blue leather cover and binding, with sort of silver and cobalt blue metallic attachments to it, including on the center of one side of it, the side that you would instinctively open. There is this large cobalt blue, what looks kind of like a demon's face, but like as an like an accent on it.
Okay.
And there is a key to unlock the chains that are binding it.
Then I look around very briefly and okay, yep, I'm unlocking.
You unlock it, flip it open. There is a slight there is like a separate piece of paper tucked into the front of the cover that you can open up and look at when you open it, and it's a letter from Rook.
Right.
Basically just telling you that she found this book that she thinks might be useful for you. And that you should study it and see.
All right.
After a week of studying this book, you will have completed your respecking into the Inquisitor or the Investigator class.
Perfect.
And this is your grimoire.
Thank you, Rook.
It comes with several pages full of rituals that are really complex and opaque. But you can sort of sense the magic coming out of this book.
Got it.
But yeah, you all get your long rests in. Tenebrous. You become aware of yourself dreaming. Quite frequently you have dreams of drowning, given the curse that you are under. But tonight, the dream seems slightly different. Normally, the dreams of drowning are featureless, eventless. Nothing changes. You just struggle for breath the entire time. This time, as you sink deeper and deeper into the ocean, you become aware of a presence and a large eye opening, staring at you in the deep. Something is watching you and listening. What do you do?
Is it familiar?
It is.
The first thing that Tenebrous does is remember that he can no longer drown anymore, that he is already drowned, and just can breathe water and takes a large gulp.
As soon as you accept that fact, you find that you can breathe fine.
Tenebrous looks at the eye and doesn't quite scream, but starts projecting as loud as he can under the water. I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of what you've done to me. I want actual power. I want to be able to protect myself and those around me. Not just gulping for air under the water.
The eye, you get to see, the eye doesn't move, but you get a sense of it focusing down on you. And there's a rumble through the water. And you don't understand the language, but you intuitively know what it is saying.
If you wish for power, you need only grasp it.
As a tendril snakes its way through the water towards you.
Tenebrous reaches out towards the tendril.
Do you grab it?
Yep.
You grab it. And as you do, it wraps around your hand and then spirals down your arm, up your shoulder, and into your mouth. And you have a sensation of it forcing its way into your body. But rather than choking, you feel warmth spreading through you. As this tendril seemingly endlessly burrows into you through the mouth. But rather than causing pain, gives you this sense of almost rejuvenation. And you wake up. You're not coughing for the first time ever since waking up. And you instinctively look down towards the hand that you used to grab the tendril. And there's a large yellow eye tattooed on your palm, with the tattoo of a tendril extending from it and wrapping around your arm all the way up to your shoulder.
It's a good thing Tenebrous is covered in fur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you have to, like you can see it, and anyone can see it through the fur, but you can like adjust your fur slightly to slightly hide it better. But it is visible through the fur.
And because I think it'll be funny. Tenebrous is now awake before Grouper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I'm gonna cast Find Familiar.
Okay. What are you finding?
An octopus. And it's going right in Grouper's tub.
All right. Are you having it do anything or just chill?
It can just chill.
Okay.
Make it tickle grouper.
So yeah, you cast the spell, and as you do, you sort of hold your hand out, and that eye on your palm glows, and the octopus peels itself out of the tattoo on your arm, and then you just drop it in the bucket. The tattoo's still there. That's just where the octopus came from.
Which is especially funny considering the octopus is about as big as Tenebrous is.
Yeah. But it just pulled itself out. All right. None of the rest of you have any particular dream that you recall. And as you all finish your long rests, Grouper, there's something in your barrel with you.
Oh, Mom. I'm gonna figure out what it is.
You look down, and there is an octopus attached to you.
Attached to me where?
Sort of all over. It's about the same size as you.
Um, Okay, so Grouper's first thought is, "Oh my God, I'm casting in my sleep again." Um, and then using Speak with Animals, Grouper will say, "We know what a big octopus sounds like. I guess it would be." So Grouper just goes, "Hey, where'd you come from?"
There is no response.
Okay, I'm getting out now.
Don't give me
You're probably very confused. Don't worry. Just the other person in this room really doesn't like octopuses, so just play it cool. Um, and I'll climb out and look over to Tenebris.
Go and give me a athletics check just to see how well you climb out with an octopus fully wrapped all around you.
Oh no. Well, I would like
Puppies.
to extricate myself first if it's like actively wrapped around me.
Yeah, it'd be another athletics check to sort of get yourself free. It's not a high DC.
That's not a high roll.
Yeah, no, this octopus. It's hard to reach all the places the octopus's tentacles are because it's wrapped
I'm
around you.
imagining when you've got a piece of tape on your hand and you try to shake it off, and then you try to take it off with your other hand, and then it's on your other hand and you can't get it off.
Yeah, but
Except on his whole body, and it's an octopus.
exactly.
Okay. I turn into a minnow, move out of the legs, and then back into grouper and climb out.
Yeah, easily done.
Now I look at is it climbing out after me?
No,
Okay. Now I look over at Tenebris.
Tenebris is just wrapped in blankets.
Okay. I'm gonna look around. Is there any food in here that an octopus would like?
you.
I don't think so.
You probably have rations.
I mean, I definitely have rations. I have dried fish.
I mean, the minnow you just were.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and get and like crumble up some of the dried fish rations.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to care
into the-
that the rations are in the water.
Okay.
Make an insight or animal handling check for me.
Okay. Those are actually both 7. That's a 10 though. Doesn't help with a 3 on the die.
With a 10, this octopus is not acting like a normal octopus.
I will tell you what.
It's acting like it has been told to stay in the bucket and not given any other instructions.
Grouper sort of processes that for a minute, picks up his driftwood bowl, splashes a little water into it, splashes it up from there into his face, and says, "Thank you, wild mother. I'll be honest, I didn't appreciate or I didn't expect a blessing like this for visiting your shrine, but it is very appreciated." And will I think just sort of settle down to some meditation and prayer and go over his spells.
Yep. And yes, you can indeed use Wild Companion on a pigeon. You can now have a pigeon familiar if you so desire.
I would like that very much.
You have a pigeon familiar.
Can her name be Liv?
Sure.
Great.
It'll use. Hang on.
Just level 1 spell slot.
It'll use the same stats as.
A raven or a crow, something similar, similar bird.
Yeah, we'll say a raven.
Okay, that seems fair.
Yeah, same stats as a raven mechanically.
Okay, all right, great. And that only lasts till I take a long rest. But I assume I kind of made friends with Liv yesterday. So
Sure.
if she's willing to stick around, I'll do it each morning.
Yeah. I mean, she's your familiar now, so she'll stick around as long as you keep casting the spell.
Well, okay. That's fair. I just it's weird because it's the druid version. So
yes, yeah, but it's still functionally the same thing. They become your familiar, so you have the ability to control them like a familiar.
Right. I wasn't sure if she got to leave overnight if she wanted to.
Nope. I mean,
Okay, cool.
If you tell her to, she will, but otherwise, no.
No. Yeah. If she gets like legitimately unhappy, I would like you to let me know that.
I will.
Grouper doesn't want this
not
to be
keep track of the emotional setting of your pigeon.
Fair. I will take care of that. Great.
I have enough NPCs to monitor. I'm not keeping an emotional scale of pigeon.
I promise I will not find some way to abuse the fact that I have a pigeon friend now.
Let's see.
I mean,
we need.
You say that
Jeremy-
like every wizard hasn't found a way to abuse their familiar in the past.
I
Yeah.
will.
You're supposed to figure out a way to abuse it.
It's okay. Nothing you can do will be as much of a mechanical flex as a witch's familiar is. Because
my entire level 0 class is the result of that is a seal. It's a seal that follows me around like a dog, and that I'm now terrified to send into anything remotely approaching combat.
Yeah.
So I would like something else.
The
please.
traditional familiar.
Yes.
Yeah. Witches familiars cheat. They add the witch's charisma to several of their stats, and they can attack, which familiars normally can't do, and witches can cast any spell from their familiar, not just touch spells.
Yeah, no, like Liv is an actual familiar now.
Yeah.
Flop is just a seal that I'm good friends with. And now that we're level 7, she's not going anywhere near combat, so she's just a fun flavor thing for my level 0 class now.
You could make Flop your familiar.
I don't think I can unless you're being super cool about it.
Seals,
I think she's too big.
Seals are CR0.
I thought there was a size thing.
No.
Okay.
Any beast that is
a
challenge rating
beast
0.
that has a challenge rating of 0. Yep.
And seals that have a challenge rating of 0.
No, she's still a real seal. I want Liv and Flop, please.
Yeah, I mean, Liv is a real pigeon.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Liv knows what she signed up for.
So yeah, you all wake up. Long rest is complete. The good goblins are caught up to speed on the situation. They have a similar discussion about money. What are y'all doing today?
About, of course, they're doing the quest and all that business.
So where are y'all starting off?
The neighborhood.
Ashka wrapping her upgraded meteor hammers around her armor again.
Fyron,
yeah, the good goblins are just ready to go because
Fyron and Fyron says that he and Worm will hang out with the goblins with the goblin caravan so that they can function as guards since that seems to be what we're doing with them while y'all do investigation.
Mm-hmm.
So that the goblin caravan is not lacking for guards. Unless you want to take Worm with you. Fyron can guard on his own.
Actually, I'll take Worm with me because we're going to go ask neighbors for things, and having an emotional support dog to just be friends with everybody while they talk about their missing children seems like a good way to get questions answered.
Sure.
But Martin Victoria is staying behind.
Also, me realizing I haven't leveled Worm up in a while.
Well, I'm just going to use Worm for flavor mostly, so.
Yeah. So you guys head out to the neighborhood that was marked on your map.
Yep.
How are you approaching your investigation?
Najka would like to do the very straightforward investigative stuff of examining, asking around, seeing what people know about when children went missing, examining areas where they were last seen, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
Ask people questions.
So separating out into several different tasks. Who wants to ask people questions?
I do.
The Good Goblins. Anyone else?
I'll go with the good goblins and ask
Tenebris.
questions.
All right. Both of you give me persuasion checks. Who wants to investigate the places they were last seen?
Yo.
I want to do that.
Najka,
Okay.
Grouper, and Ella. Okay. All three of you can give me investigation checks.
Can I turn into a dog and do it with advantage?
Sure.
Actually, I would just like to be there because I'm not good at investigation. I'd like to be there to help track if we find things.
Okay.
I'll give you an investigation track.
Well,
Thing,
in that
but
case, you
I'm
can hold off and just roll survival when they find
Okay.
something.
yeah.
And Davina, what do you want to do?
Motherfucker. I will use my
Okay,
one inspiration.
so-
I'm not letting that stand.
To be clear, people are asking about
So,
the children.
the Good Goblins and Tenebris are asking around about the children.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a
Najka
pretty good
and
job.
Elafira are investigating the locations the children were last seen. Gerper is
Mhm.
on standby, waiting to start trying to track if any trails are found. What would you like to do?
What are they asking about the children?
Um, where they've been seen. What about the dreams? Um, uh, were any of them friends with each other? Were there any relationships between the
Mhm.
families that went missing? Um,
I assume. Do you have any idea who might have done this or what might have happened? Things
Was
like
that has there been any new and suspicious people around? You know, your standard investigative questions.
information about the children physically so that we can recognize them should we see them.
Ravina wants to see if there have been any suspicious people hanging around
So
lately.
you're also going to be asking questions then?
Yeah.
Right, then give me a persuasion roll.
18.
All right. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Did we get we did an investigation from Elafira as well?
Okay. Sorry.
No worries.
How dare you?
Invest. Helps us if I'm on the right tab.
Which makes sense.
I mean, we could have guessed that.
given what we're about to learn, that makes sense. So from the with it was 22 and 19 and 18 from the talking to people about stuff side of things. Also, I should turn on music. I realized that I haven't done yet. We're gonna go to this one. From the asking around side of things, you learn that the children have been disappearing individually. They haven't been disappearing like in groups. It's been one here, one there, one there. They haven't, as far as anyone has known, they've been disappearing around the neighborhood. So they haven't been going anywhere weird. It's just been they went out to play and then never came back. There hasn't been anybody new in the residential ward or in the neighborhood. There have been several of them work in the market ward, and there is a dream reading stall that opened up recently. Not Not recently enough to be directly connected to the nightmares or anything that's happening right now, but like in the past couple of months. A dream reading stall opened up in the market, and it's run by an odd pair of tiefling that are siblings, Nyx and Vril. Those are the newest like fixtures in town that people can think of. As far as when you're asking about any new people in town or in the area, but none of them can connect the children to the brothers, as far as they can recall.
Do all of the parents have it? All have the parents? Are the parents connected to the brothers at all? Like, have they
only through virtue
visited?
of working in the market?
Okay.
Some people in the neighborhood have visited the brothers because they've been getting the nightmares. And they'll tell you that, as far as they can tell, the brothers are like, they do have magic, but what they do is sort of basic divination, interpretation of dreams, sort of thing. Not really. They don't. As far as they can tell, whatever the scam is, it's not more complex than any other prophecy side of the
It
road.
doesn't involve
prophet
monsters.
as far as they can tell, yeah.
Any similar stomping grounds that, other than that everybody shares, or that are fixtures among the demographic?
Not similar stomping grounds. The parent,
like landmarks that are.
Yeah, the kids tend to play in and around the neighborhood. Sometimes they'll go out beyond the wall and play down by the river. Outside of that, the parents tend to they have three places they frequent: home, work in the marketplace, and a tavern in the Opal Ward.
I want to go see where it is that they play. I'm also interested in talking to their friends there, and checking to see if this seems to be spreading.
That's then where we go over to Najka and Alfira, who are investigating the places that the kids frequented, including the river outside the walls and the playground areas around the neighborhood.
Out of character, in case I missed it, is it are they're going out to play and not coming home, or
Right.
are
Yes.
they disappear? Okay.
They are disappearing after they leave the house. With a 18 and a 5 on their investigation checks, Alfira and Najka, you go to a few of the different playground areas that the parents point you to, and sort of look around for anything that seems odd or suspicious. The only thing you find is out towards the river. The riverbanks are sparsely populated, and there is one like abandoned shack down the river from the place where you were told the kids would play frequently.
Okay.
Heading over there to investigate the abandoned shack, it doesn't look like it's been lived in for years, and there's no immediate sign of anybody having been there. Though, both of you can make an Arcana roll with thanks to the 18 investigation.
— 17.
16.
With 17 and the 16, there is the latent, like, ambient feeling of magic in the area around the building.
If
Like
it makes a difference.
Like somebody has used magic around it recently.
I didn't call it out, but if it makes a difference, Grouper is guiding Najka for investigation.
It won't make a difference right now, but
Okay. On me for not saying something sooner. Mainly because I was hardware muted. My bad.
Nashka, as she's looking around. Grouper, can you get a sense of magic around here for me?
Of course. Do we have time, or do you want it fast?
I mean, children
We've
aren't
got-
getting any more disappeared.
We've got time.
I'll ritual cast detect magic.
Ritual casting detect magic, you get a sense of the residual magic in the area. It doesn't read as something casting a spell, but rather something utilizing innate magic.
Can I tell if I take an action and focus? Can I tell what school?
Well, that's the
Or-
thing. It's not a school. It's something's innate magical abilities.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
It's not something casting a spell. It is a magical creature was here.
All right. Doesn't seem like it's anything that someone is intentionally conjuring forth. It's that the creature that was here has magic as a part of its being.
I look over at Nashka. Does this seem haggy to you?
A little bit, aye.
Like, look at the place.
Yeah, I'm getting
Look
hag
at the
vibes.
missing kids. Look at the inherent magic.
I'm decidedly getting hag vibes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I was wondering that with nightmares.
Can I roll to see if I know about hags?
And sorry, I did not specify it earlier. To be clear, I did share all of that.
Mhm.
But you did say you gave the down low, so that was
Yes.
implied.
True.
Yeah, you can give me a Arcana or Religion check to know about hags.
And can I also do that?
16.
Sure, yeah. With 16, with 11, you know that hags are fey creatures, and presumably they can do stuff with children. With 16,
It's
Grouper.
not on the goblet.
With 16, yeah, hags are known for stealing children away. Typically, though, they do it through bargaining. They do it through a deal of some kind, rather than just kidnapping kids.
With that in mind, then, does anything else pop to mind from what I'm seeing here?
With a 16, there are a number of creatures that prey primarily on children. Combining it with the dreams that people have been reporting, there are less things that both prey on children and also prey on nightmares. But you're not quite certain exactly of how to narrow down the list further. It's definitely something magical, something innately magical, possibly a type of hag that you're unfamiliar with, or possibly one of about a half dozen other creatures that it could potentially be.
Okay. I'll share that information as unhelpful as it is.
I mean, it's narrowed down.
I mean, that is fair.
As non-specific as it
Yeah.
is, I should say.
Yeah, you get the feeling that if you were slightly more book read, you might have the ability to narrow it further down, which is as best as I can explain of you missed the DC by 2 or the target number by 2.
Yeah.
Nashka,
and I can't retroactively guide myself, so.
Nashka, she's sort of thinking about it. Hang on a minute. She
Fayish?
sort of she pulls out the investigator's notebook and starts flipping through her notes on various things.
Guidance.
Detective's notebook. Although that won't help me here because this is not a specifically investigation role, but I'm going to use it as part of background for rolling religion.
Absolutely.
I will guide you on this for sure.
Fuck you. God damn it.
You're coming up with a
Ugh.
similar. You're coming up with a similar amount of things where it's like there's like a half dozen things it could be. Jeremy, you were saying something?
I just looked at Najka. Fayish?
I Faye
Well,
seems to stand out as an idea, but also,
I know
I
we're
mean-
brainstorming here, so I'm just throwing out
yeah,
things that occur.
something comes to mind about an Oni, but I don't think anyone here is particularly drawn. I haven't drawn enough of a sense of people being bad people nearby enough to draw something like an Oni around as a punishment.
I mean, there's people here, so there's bad people here.
Yeah, but
But
Oni are like
fair.
drawn to
Yeah,
real
like
wickedness
those
kind
are
of thing.
real bad. Yeah.
I'm going to turn into a dog and sniff around and see what I find. Gruber turns into a slightly fishier looking worm, basically.
Sure. Nalsha, give me a nature check real quick. And Grouper, you can give me a survival check.
Sure. I'd like to guide
Fucking
myself.
dice.
I'd like to guide myself before I turn.
Sure.
Do I have advantage because of my nose?
Yes.
Okay.
If you like, since Elifair is offering help, you could have the help action with advantage. Do it with advantage, Tanashka.
Sure. No.
With a 25 on
26
on your
technically,
survival
yeah.
check, Grouper. The smell of the children from their playgrounds does come to this shack, and then terminates here. They don't go anywhere else from the shack.
We're not going anywhere else, Rajka.
Oh
No.
God!
At this point, I'm assuming you're
hated
all.
that.
At this point, I
Unacceptable.
assume you all have gathered here.
I wanted to.
I'm not
Also-
sure what other voice you all expected.
I was also trying to talk to their friends, not just parents,
Yes.
and ask about like when they were playing, if there were any weird sounds that stood out, if they saw anything scary, if any of their friends who might have been playing with them might have seen or heard anything out of the usual.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I'm going to give myself Bardic because I have Bardic and I need to remember to use it.
Yeah.
Usually Bardic goes to other
it's-
people unless you have a specific subclass that applies it to yourself.
Okay, never mind.
There are some subclasses where I'm such an arrogant shit I can inspire myself.
I just need to remember to use it is all. I always
Yeah.
forget to use it.
I'm the same way.
I don't have guidance, so it's
Just
just an
checking
11.
to see really quickly.
Can I have an advantage since I brought a dog and I'm talking to children?
Sure.
There's also the small
I'm
German.
only asking because that's what I pitched Worm as.
Yeah.
When I said I was bringing him. 13.
Also, as a reminder for you, because of your Wanderer's lore, your Bardic Inspiration can be used for advantage on Arcana, History, Nature, or Religion checks.
Oh.
Nice.
So
I need to remember that.
for someone else. So when you give it to someone else, they can use it to. They can instead of adding your Bardic Inspiration die, they'll get advantage on the roll instead.
Yeah.
Nice.
I need to remember that.
Look, I'm excited to find out how many abilities I will forget to use on this new class.
I know, it's
'Cause-
great.
With a 13, the kids don't remember seeing anyone particularly weird hanging around. They do talk about the Riverman, which seems to be a like a local folk, like a local like boogeyman sort of situation, where if you misbehave, the riverman will take you away with down the river.
And they play by the river.
And they play by well,
So-
which seems to be a thing that has come up because they play around the river.
This could be nothing, but I'd rather take it seriously than not.
They have any little folklore songs about it, like "Leave a little silt under your pillow for the riverman, before he takes you down."
Yes, but it's much more to the tune of the Wellerman rather than the Riverman, rather than that.
Rather than Dirtman.
Soon may the riverman come
Yeah,
to
there you
bring
go.
you children and
I am going to ask about any of the clues about this thing that might help pinpoint
Mhm.
what it could be with more information. Should we acquire more information and this be a relevant lead?
Absolutely.
So, you don't have to give that to me right now, but like, I'm asking the questions.
Yes, and that's largely what you've gotten so far. So, so yeah, you've got some sort of magical creature, possibly this Riverman, whoever the Riverman is. Definitely leaves magical residue behind wherever it goes, or at least the impression of magic. Tenebris, is there anything that you're trying to do?
Just helping.
Any of the you I assume you've all been sharing information as you've been talking back and forth and doing the investigation. So would anybody else like to make
Yeah.
a nature or a religion roll to see what kind of creature they might think it is?
Hey,
And in
who
doing
wants-
so,
you want advantage on that, grouper?
I'll make a religion roll.
Oh, can I make one as well?
yes.
I'll do terribly on that religion roll, but I made
Grouper,
it.
you do one with advantage.
21.
Because like nature's your thing.
do I get to do another one?
Yeah, because we'll get together and I'll share more information.
Yeah, good
Right?
goblin, and good goblin's giving you bardic inspiration to do it. So
Okay.
You were close. Do
so-
a little better this time.
Can I do nature with? I haven't done nature yet. Actually, am I getting helped on this? Like, can I do?
You're getting advantage.
Advantage, great.
yes.
And Bardic 22.
All right. So with a 22 and 21, the bardic gave you an advantage, is what it did.
Got it. Okay.
With 22 and a 21.
That's my ability that I definitely knew I had.
Najka said something earlier about an Oni and there not being evil people around. But as far as the two of you are aware, Oni don't require evil people to be around for them to hunt. They just eat kids.
And are drawn to the wicked.
No.
Actually, Rajka, Rue might have been right about Oroni.
I mean, yeah,
I-
nothing's stopping it from being an Oni, I suppose.
No.
Oni covet magic and work for evil wizards and hags in exchange for useful magical items, but they are only drawn to evil people in so much as any other evil magical creature is drawn to evil people, in that they make easy prey.
They're also described as being particularly prone to punishing wicked individuals as part of their fun, but
Yeah,
Not-
but that's more. That's
Not
more like a
according to the
guideline.
information I'm looking at.
fair. That's fair. I've also like the 2024 version implies a lot of like punishment to the wicked kind of thing.
Roni might covet magical items, etc.
No.
I can talk, Grouper. It's fine.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that'll.
I mean,
So
there's
how do we
one
track
thing
one down?
preventing it from being that, which is that I really don't think we want it to be that, because
I mean, they're
It's probably
associated with nightmares, and
I know, I'm just saying at that point it's not a rescue mission.
Liz, maybe they're still alive.
Well,
Maybe in a fridge.
We're not leaving the rack.
And Grouper will paw at the door of the shack.
If it's not a rescue mission, that's all the more reason to hurry before we can
Agreed.
not rescue more.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that we don't go down that route. I'm just saying we really don't want it to be that.
Well, in either
Um,
case, the trail ends here, so we're gonna have to investigate this building. Nashka said.
I
Can
would
we
much
get it?
rather it be they're being forced to be pickpockets on the street or something like that.
Open shack. Open shack?
You open
We're
shack.
gonna have to make a rocketaroo.
You open. I had no idea what you just said.
I
You
don't
open-
even know what you said there.
I'm
gonna
trying
be
to ignore
honest.
Scooby as much as possible.
It's the Scooby-Doo version of Oliver. What? You're gonna have to pick a pocket or two.
Oh, okay.
Are you in Martin Victoria, or are you just as goblins right now?
We're as goblins right now.
I think unfortunately we left Martin Victoria behind, right?
Yeah, that's fine though.
Yeah, Nashka will open shack and
The good
start
goblins already
investigating the
did.
inside.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you open the shack. Inside, rundown shack. There's holes in the walls, various things. There does seem to be a trap door in the shack. Like so that leads.
Yeah,
to-
that's
Okay, we're gonna open
I was gonna
that.
say that's the next stop.
I will
Yeah.
carefully sniff around up here.
Any signs of life?
You're not smelling anything new, Gruber.
Okay.
I do like the notion that we just walk in, see the trapdoor, like, well, nothing here. Turn around and walk out.
No immediate signs of
God,
life.
I'm dying.
No immediate signs of life. You go to the trap door. Open it. I'm assuming you're going down because it's like it's like a ladder.
Unless something is immediately obvious from above that we shouldn't go down, yes.
Any wild smells coming out as it opens?
Nope.
I mean I'm very scent focused right now.
Nothing new. Heading down.
Worm is probably going to stay up here because climbing down ladders is not the easiest thing for a dog, and that way he can alert us if anybody comes up behind us.
And not get eaten.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check while you come down into the cellar. Anyone who wants to.
Yes, I believe
Yep.
so.
Investigation.
That's better.
Oh, ignore my D1. That's a 21 though.
Investigation.
All right. As you head down, Grouper, are you heading down still in dog form?
How deep is the hole?
It's like a 10-foot drop.
I'll wait and then say,
Rajka, will you ratch me?
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'll jump down.
Acrobatics check to catch the dog.
Please drop the dog.
Know how to speak.
I catch the dog.
18 catches, yeah, easily.
I'll lick Najka's face.
You're all looking around. There's no sign of any activity in the basement, at least as far as you can tell. It's just as run down as the rest of the shack. However, Najka and Grouper, did we get an investigation check from the good goblins?
Yes.
Yeah, 11. I did great.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. So yeah, Najka and Grouper, you do find that there is like sort of the floorboards in one corner of the cellar is loose, and Grouper, you start to smell something new. You're smelling mushrooms.
I smell
Okay, they're all
rooms.
just tripping.
Mushrooms.
That could be a good or a bad sign, Nashka says as she starts to go
Yep.
investigate that loose floorboard.
Good if it means they're alive.
I mean, you know where my guess is going to be.
You peel
Do
back.
I
What kind of
smell-
mushrooms are they?
Yeah, do I smell decay?
No.
Okay.
Tony's having children with a side of sauteed shrooms.
You peel back the floorboards and you find a circle of mushrooms growing underneath the floorboards.
I don't like that.
This is looking more hag.
What would we need to roll to see if that means something to our characters?
Religion.
Who has good religion?
Najka
Not
does if
me.
you want to give her advantage.
Najka can have advantage.
18.
Fucking dice. That's 2 natural ones. God damn it.
15.
Elaphira.
Fucking
Do better
fairy
with my
rings.
bardics.
Elaphira and the Good Goblins with an 18 and a 17. Fey entities do tend to use rings of natural materials, flowers or mushrooms or things like that, as basically teleportation circles. Stepping into a ring that is powered by a hag or some other Fey creature will teleport you to another space.
Who wants to try it out?
If it isn't,
No.
if it is an Oni, it's not eating them here. If it is an Oni, it's not working alone, because Oni do not use Fey magic.
You say,
do
who wants to try
not
it out?
want-
Tenebrous starts to take a step.
Grab,
And here's no.
yank back.
Is the octopus
it's-
with us, by the way?
Is there a tank of water?
Yeah,
No.
Because-
no, because the Good Goblins aren't.
No,
Victoria,
Mark-
yeah.
Mark-
Victoria
isn't
isn't
with
here,
us.
so there's not the tank being carried.
No, there's not an octopus with us.
We don't want to go in
Would-
there.
Would something other than a creature get teleported? Could we test this without testing? Because we don't. Wait, is detect magic still up? Because
No,
right now
but
we don't know if it's magic or not. We just know there's mushrooms.
Can you know what? This is probably low on the totem pole, but looking at the mushrooms, can I tell what they are? What type of mushroom they are? Are they native?
Give me a nature check.
I mean, we don't want to go in there, but if it's the thing that we think it is, we're probably going to have to if we want to actually save children.
Do I
I-
have any idea, just to be clear, do I have any idea
12.
about the dangers of potentially traveling in the place a fairy ring transports you to?
I'm still trying to confirm that it's magical.
It
so
depends
I'm
on where
still
it transports you
interested in
to.
that.
A fairy ring doesn't necessarily take you to the Feywild.
Okay,
It can take you to another place on the material plane. It could
that's
take you to the
fair.
Feywild.
That is fair.
It's hard. It would be harder for it to take you to the Feywild than somewhere else on the material plane.
Okay. But I do
Um,
know, to be clear, I do know that if it takes us to the Feywild, we may come back 90 years from now or something.
Yeah,
like
you may
that.
come back 90 years from now. You may come back with no timing fast at all. It really varies.
We may come
have-
back before we
got
left.
90 years ago.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do to confirm whether this is magical? I still care about that.
I'm answering questions one thing at a time. Do you have detect magic?
No. Can I like throw something into it or something?
Make an Arcana check. I can only answer questions one at a time, and I'm going down a list.
Yep, I've been trying. I've
I
been
know.
trying to get this question
And
heard.
so have everyone else.
16.
Okay, give me a second. Grouper with a 12. The question I've been trying to answer. You recognize the mushrooms. They are native to the material plane. They are not native to this area. They're not native to Western.
Okay.
But they are native to the material plane.
I'll pass that along.
With a 16, yes, it is radiating magic.
Okay.
How many other questions did I have to answer? Hang on.
I think
Was the question about the whether or not the ring takes you to the Feywild, which it may be.
Yeah,
maybe
that was
depends.
answered.
Yeah.
I think we're caught up.
Okay. This is gonna sound cold, but how about at this point, our job was to find information. Our job was not to find the kids.
Your
If we
job might
go,
not be to find the kids.
I'm saying, if we go, let Iona know. She has a definite direction to take. If we go in here and it doesn't take us to the Feywild, but it takes us to fucking Wildmount, everything that we're working on is gone for a matter of a long period of time. That includes investigating Davina's stuff. That includes anything we're working on. That's my concern.
I understand this is largely difficult and not easy, especially for a non-spellcaster. Is there any way to try and get a gauge of relative direction, like where this teleport might go? An idea?
Riff could check it out.
Not without magic.
I don't have the ability to cast Identify at Will yet.
Riv.
Who?
The pigeon
bird.
flutters down and lands on Dog Grouper's head.
The fuck is that?
This is Riv.
I believe the name was Liv, trying to translate through dog speak.
Ruber has a posse.
When did you get a fucking bird?
I got a wife of my own.
Okay,
Put
I
that
have
aside.
5.
Grouper, yes. Liv. Can Liv try and communicate back to us whatever's on the other side?
Riv, you go through. See what you see and come back right away if you can.
Liv hops over over to the circle and vanishes. Roll me a D100, Grouper, Craig.
Okay.
Oh
All
no.
right.
Oh.
This is why I don't use flop. 31.
After about 30 seconds, there's a poof, and the pigeon reappears in the circle.
How long was it, Riv?
Sorry, what are you asking?
How long was it for you?
How long was it for you, Liv?
Pigeons do not have an ability
How
to
many
tell time.
how many heartbeats?
Not very long.
Does that to me indicate less than 30 seconds?
As far as you can tell, about as long as it took.
Okay. All right. So it doesn't seem Liv doesn't seem to think that there is like wild
Time dilation.
Time dilation. Yeah.
No.
What can Liv tell me about what she saw?
It was a cave.
I'll pass that along.
How about I dial back the Scoobies
Good.
and just
yes.
talk like this?
That's better.
It's
All right.
much better.
I think cave. We are near Gat Shadow. Perhaps it's a quick way to get up to the mountain.
Maybe.
Was the air cold?
Let's see. Roll a dice real
Can
quick for the
she?
pigeon. Can
Can
tell?
she? If she's a pigeon, pigeons are domesticated creatures that have gone feral. Because the species is a domestic species that was raised to be able to come back to you.
Mhm.
Can Liv go through the portal and then head back to us? They have, navigation.
They're able to come back to you by method of knowing where they've flown.
they're able to come back to you by method of internal compass.
Yes. But if they don't know where they went, then they can't navigate back.
Okay.
They
It
don't
was
have
worth
they do not
asking.
have an internal GPS.
They
It was
should.
worth asking.
It was worth asking.
That
can only
feels like
offer,
a
like-
flaw in their design.
Global pigeon
Crocodiles-
system, baby.
My
To be
fun
fair, they're
crocodile
very-
fact is that crocodiles can do the same thing. And if you want to get a crocodile confused, you have to transport it with magnets.
The-
Otherwise, it'll go right back.
Fortunately, Liv rolled high enough. It didn't seem the air temperature. It didn't feel like she was anywhere near an exterior point of the cave.
Okay.
So it wasn't.
All right.
So she didn't have enough time there to be able to tell if it was up a mountain or in the Underdark. Just it was a cave. There was light in the cave, and it felt like cave temperature, not side of the mountain temperature.
What was the light like?
Ambient, hard to tell. Pigeon, not good at telling that.
There was
Look-
was there anybody there?
It wasn't there long enough to tell.
Look, if we want to go, if we all want to go, I'm down. I'm just saying, at the very least, we need to go get our shit.
We can't take a ship. Wait, our ship?
Our shit, our
Our
stuff.
ship. Oh, well,
I mean, no, we can't fly a ship through the fairy ring.
the ship is nowhere nearby.
I'm not laughing at you, by the way. I'm laughing at the visual of us flying the ship into this
All
shack.
the way back to the what's it
Watch your
called?
ass, Oberon. Here we come, motherfucker.
Liv says, if you want me to stay longer, I can get a better look around. Do you want me to go?
Yes, but come back if you see anyone coming.
Liv hops back into the circle. Roll me another D100.
While this is happening, Grouper says,
They could just be eating kids over there, right and left.
I
I don't think we should take
we should
too much
definitely
time.
follow up on this, but everyone will need to be fully equipped and ready for this.
82.
This time, Liv is gone for about 3 minutes. And then reappears. And tells you that there's like a house made of mushrooms.
It sounds like I had.
And a bunch of kids like running around.
Oh, the kids, do they seem scared? Are they happy?
Hard to tell. Several of them do not seem like they've... Liv has been with you the whole time. Several of them don't... They don't quite match the descriptions you were given by their parents. Like, one of them has a tail it didn't have before, and
Okay.
others
That's
have horns.
upsetting.
Oh, a couple of things. The kids are there. It seems like they're being changed, and they're all living in a shroom with a view.
This is concerning, and I don't want to let this lie any longer. Anyone who is not ready, please let me know so I don't just go in.
Oh no, I want to go.
Yeah, look,
Ready.
we have to go.
I want to go.
We brought our stuff. There are missing kids. Why wouldn't we bring our stuff?
Let's go.
Never mind. No, I've got all my stuff.
All right, I guess. Any objections to us going now?
Nah, Tinderbush jumps in.
Worm,
I object to us staying. And then
Worm hop-
Gesby goes.
Worm hops down into the cellar and runs into the fairy circle.
Grouper watches Tenebris, and inexplicably his voice changes, and he goes, "Oh my god, he just ran in."
That's a
No.
real upgrade for our normal Tenebris.
And then runs right after Tenebris.
Yeah, Notchkill will go in as well.
You just hear, is like, is everyone ready? It's like, yeet!
Yeah.
Stick to the plan, chumps.
The plan is to go through.
So you all run through.
Tenebris.
You all find.
Step in.
As soon as you all step in individually, as soon as you step into the mushroom circle, you find yourself having been teleported to a cavernous complex. This large cavern, off in the distance, visible but not close to the circle, you can see a mushroom house. It's a house that is grown from giant mushrooms. And around the house, you can see a number of missing children. A number of the missing children, most of whom have had additions added to them. All of you can make
Hooray.
nature checks.
I'm keeping my stuff now.
18.
I did bad.
17.
12.
13.
With an 18 grouper, you recognize that they are being turned into hexbloods. Which
It's a
is
hag!
a method that hags use to reproduce. And then you all see sort of actually, I'll have you give me perception checks real quick. For the last roll of the night.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Is
yes.
this-
My best roll.
Is this smell based
No.
or hearing based?
Not smell.
Literal
Zero gets a
0. Because I hadn't rolled a nat 1 yet this game, just mostly below 5. So I had to get my nat 1 in for the night.
You got to. You got to.
I somehow trip and fall back into the fairy ring and end up in fucking,
With a
I
nat-
don't know.
With a nat 20 Holly, Davina, it's less that you're seeing something and more that your psionic senses are sort of flaring a warning.
Okay.
Which is why you know to jump out of the way as something comes crashing down at you from the ceiling. You jump out of the way, all of the rest of you turn and look as a large, blue-skinned creature with protruding horns stands up, having attempted to take out Davina instantly, and turns to look at the group of you as an Oni has
Generous.
dropped down into your midst.
Rony, Rony, Roo.
And that's where
Generous
we're
of
going.
you
Hate
to
it.
think that I looked with my 0.
And that's where
You're
we're
I'm
busy
going.
still
wiping
like-
mud off your face.
That's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.